Dad really wasn't part of my life much. My mom and dad divorced when I was 9, and then I never really saw my dad again after that. But, he did heavily influence me in a lot of ways in those 9 years. Dad was a jack of all trades and pretty good at most things. And I'm lucky to have picked that up in a lot of ways. I'm good at quite a few different things. And, building, construction, those kind of things. Dad, when I was maybe I was 5, Dad had me sweep out the garage, which is where, he was a body man, and then he'd come home and paint cars and work on cars in the garage, and so it was like a shop. And he just showed me to move things and sweep in the corners and to get it all, and just be clean and organized. And look, I didn't. It. This is my kitchen as a mess. And my mom was a perfectionist, so you know, my place is usually pretty clean and organized, even if I'm messy. Uh, Grandpa Lloyd, when my brother and I were little, we'd visit Grandpa. I think we probably went. He was in Oregon, and so out of state, and we went and visited him. Maybe 3 or 4 times, 5 times, and when we'd get there, he'd have like a mason jar full of quarters and even like ones and fives and 20s, I think, and like tickets to the fair. So those were pretty cool times. And I remember he had a nice little cornfield. We'd never seen corn before. We didn't know that it would be bad to run through it and whatever. We didn't mean nothing by it. We're just little kids, but we went out there and ran through his corn and just probably destroyed that field. And we got our asses whooped for that. But I've got fond memories of Grandpa Lloyd, and then Grandpa Byron. He owned a body shop. That's where my dad learned to do that. And I have 10 uncles and 2 aunts, and pretty well every one of them started their own business. And so that's how a lot of those things. And then Grandpa Byron also, he built a cabin and he'd take me out there for a long time. We'd go out there a lot, Grandpa Byron and I, just alone, and just hang out in the wilderness. And look, now I've got a cabin of my own. So happy Father's Day to all the good dads out there, and for the guys that are good men that give kids without a dad somebody to model themselves after.